All right, folks, hold on to your hats, headbands, whatever it is that covers your top head, forehead, and bodily regions, because we are back. We're so back, and what I mean is KSI is back in the influencer boxing scene. He is fighting again in August, but I thought his opponent was going to be Amir Khan. It seemed like that was the direction they were heading. It seemed like all avenues pointed to Amir Khan, but in the words and voice of Dave Chappelle, he said, "Gotcha, bitch." And no, that's not his opponent. And no, I'm not making boxing breathing sounds. I am purposely putting that S on the end of opponent because KSI's new opponent is not what and who you think. He dropped a video talking about the whole thing, and we have to break it down. So, KSI's next opponent, who is it and why? The breakdown. Let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am back, baby. Ireland, I am coming. August 31st.
First off, pause. Secondly, okay, Dublin, Ireland, August 31st is the fight date. KSI and Misfits taking Ireland as their new home ground. Now listen, your boys been to Dublin. Been there to commentate some fights for Kingpin. That's Roy. Have fun on Kingpin. Rest in peace, Kingpin, bitch. Yeah, we were there in the, what do they call it? The 3 Arena, I think. That's, I assume, where KSI is going to be fighting. I like the choice, to be honest, because they fought in London a lot. And KSI will sell out there, but he'll also sell out in Dublin. New market, something to potentially use to get more Irish fighters on the card. Maybe get an appearance from Conor McGregor, mate. Yeah, you hope so, mate. Yeah, you do what you're fucking told. I have to stop with the accent. But the date, August 31st, is interesting because they had said they had a fight lined up in August. Apparently, it's no longer going to be Amir Khan, so I don't know if they necessarily had an opponent lined up, more so a date lined up. But nevertheless,
I will be in Dublin, and I will be fighting on what will be Misfits' 2nd anniversary. Now, the ultimate question, who am I?
Is it really Misfits' 2nd anniversary? As in, it's been around for 2 years. Yeah, okay, wow. That is crazy. Misfits 1 was August 31st, 2022. What a time, man. What a time August 31st, 2022 was.
Now, the ultimate question, who am I fighting? Amir Khan? I mean, best believe we tried. But unfortunately, I believe that's probably going to be somewhere later on this year. All I'm going to say is he may be fast in the ring, but when it comes to accepting offers, he's very, very slow.
All right, so KSI essentially says there that Amir Khan is scheduled or tentatively scheduled for later in the year. If KSI's fighting in August, that tells me that if he wins, they're going to want to turn around and fight in December, and that would potentially be the Amir Khan fight. I'm not even frustrated with that because, quite frankly, to get Amir Khan on your first fight back after taking a long layoff and the Tommy Fury fight probably wasn't the greatest idea. As much as it was like, oh shit, they're really going to do this, holy cow, and I respected it, it wasn't the smartest idea to give KSI Amir Khan without getting him a little bit of that ring rust off, right? He just come off a loss versus Tommy Fury. How do you think that fight's going to go if he doesn't have time to improve? I like him taking a fight in between, so I'm not mad at that at all. Although I don't know how much they really tried to push that fight for August. Like KSI saying, we tried, and he's fast in the ring, but takes longer to accept offers. I don't really know what that means. I think that Misfits and Amir Khan had open discussions for potentially a fight, but they weren't in any rush to make it for August because, again, it does make more sense the way this thing is played out that JJ gets a fight before he gets Amir Khan. But as far as the fight he actually got, I'll let him tell you what it is.
Who else? Jake Paul. I've seen that he's
The funniest thing about this rivalry with KSI and Jake is they try to have like a forehead off. Like, no, your forehead is big. No, your forehead is. These two have the biggest foreheads in influencer boxing. It's literally a battle of who's going to recede further first. Like, KSI's bandana is holding on for dear life. That thing is bigger than LeBron's headband ever got. Jake has the freaking Magneto hairline, and I'm talking capital M. He has that hairstyle so that it falls down over it, and when the wind blows, and that hairline does the chicken dance, dude. Like, it's the funniest thing, them going back and forth and being like, yo, check this guy's forehead. You both got bad hairlines, dude.
Scheduled his fight with Mike Tyson. So now Mike will be even older when he fights. Mike Tyson, a man that is in no condition to be fighting a 20-something-year-old at his age. But I mean, Jake Paul, Netflix, they want to do what they want to do. It's all good. But today, Jake, I'm going to be making you my final offer.
The final offer in his best boss voice. Okay, this is apparently where you either accept or we never get the KSI Jake fight, but I'm going to spoil this for you guys. I highly doubt this is going to be the final offer.
May 2025. Just so you have all the time in the world to be ready. And we can even do it in America, just to make you that bit more happy. But that is it when it comes to giving you advantages. I mean, first of all, we agreed to fight at 180 pounds, and then you decided to run away and fight Nate Diaz instead. Then you came back, won in the fight at 185 pounds. And then you decided, you know what, scratch that. Let's fight at 200 pounds. You know what, Jake? I'm tired of this bullshit. Get off the cycle and let's make this work.
All right, so we got a lot of info here. First off, he says May 2025, and then he says he will even do it in America. So JJ's given up a lot on the concession of location, but May 2025 is interesting because I don't know why that's the date or why that was the date they won. Maybe because JJ wants to fight 2 more times this year and then doesn't want to turn around and fight super quickly in the first part of next year. But when this came out, and we're going to jump around a little bit just because I want to keep continuity. When this came out, Nikisa Madarian's talent management company tweeted this. For the record, Jake Paul, current schedule, February is open, May is not. So May of 2025, they already have booked for Jake to do something. And then you had Most Valuable Promotions tweet this, Cinco de Mayo. I don't know what the hell this means, but they already have something in the works for 2025. I heard people be like, oh my God, is this Canelo? Because Canelo fights on Cinco de Mayo. I have no idea about anything, but that just seems crazy to me. Maybe Chavez Jr. would be somebody, as you see kind of here with people speculating. Maybe Chavez Jr. I don't know, but they already have something in the works for Cinco de Mayo next year. And again, you would think Jake would have to continue winning for that to line up if it was Canelo or something. So I'm going to put some cold water on the whole Canelo thing. I don't know. Maybe. Mams Taylor said, okay, February then, let's do it. So this is, again, a cool thing to see that Mams Taylor is actively like, no, bro, okay, let's make the fight. No more f***ing around. This is what we're going to do. And again, I want to reiterate, this is a good thing that Mams is willing to compromise. This is what I asked for. This is what I think needs to happen in this situation, a bit of compromise. But when you set hardline statements like this is my final offer, and then not even an hour later, your manager goes, yeah, okay, February. You're just showing that the things you say are hardline definitives are not. If you're willing to move off the date and you're willing to move off the location, chances are in negotiation, you're going to be tested to move off the weight. And I'm not saying they shouldn't. I think that both parties should move off their weight and meet at 190. All I'm saying is I like that we have some compromise from Mams and KSI, and because that's what it's going to take to make this fight. I just don't like the whole setting hardline statements then moving them, because when those things continually move, then we get back into the same minutia that got us here in the first place. This way, no, this way, and then we throw our hands up and walk away from it. Just get it done. This is a step in the right direction. Fair play, man. February is the date. Hopefully, lock it in.
185 pounds is my final offer. Take it or leave it. If you come back with some bullshit on social media, I will sleep good knowing that deep down you never really had the balls to fight me in a fair fight. You were never actually about it. You were just trying to save face online.
All right, so final offer once again was said 185 is the weight. They are going to take a hardline stance on this weight, and this is why it's probably not going to happen. But I'll say this, negotiations are not done through YouTube videos, all right? And I know KSI is a man of his word, but some way, somehow, this has got to get done, man. It just has to. So all this hardline final offer stuff, I get it, you know what I'm saying? He wants to protect himself. He wants, again, a fair fight for him. Let's get everybody in a room and let's do good business, okay? Let's do good business. What I mean is let's not do ego-driven business. Let's do good business. Open dialogue, good faith discussion, no taking pot shots, no swindle this, swindle that, no underhanded tactics. Just do good business. And if it's there to be made, and if there is a need to compromise, let's do it, because 1, it's bigger than these 2 at this point. 2, the fight would perfectly cement influencer boxing in the era it's been, and 3, it's what the fans want.
So, still, we all are wondering, who am I fighting? Well, they've told me to fight a warm-up fight since I've had 10 months off. They told me to find Ryan Borderland's cousin. They told me to fight...
Did he call him Ryan Borglin? And also, this is what I'm talking about with the whole... He said, you know, Amir Khan was taking too long with the negotiations. Well, if your management team told you to fight a warm-up fight, then it wasn't taking too long with negotiations. You just needed a warm-up fight, which is a good thing. I'm just saying.
They even brought me Holyfield. What they forget, ladies and gentlemen, is that
Wait a second. You kind of throw your own team under the bus if you're saying Jake is fighting Mike Tyson, but my team said I should fight Evander Holyfield.
What they forget, ladies and gentlemen, is that I am not Jake Paul. I want to fight. I am here to fight. I want to challenge myself. So I'm going to fight a person that has been on my case for ages. So I will be fighting Slim.
Okay.
And Anthony Taylor.
No. They had us in the first half. Man. Let me just watch it, and then I'll come back to this. But it was so close.
Slim.
Okay.
And Anthony Taylor.
Okay.
In a 2v1 handicap tag team match. Both of you against me. You have 24 hours to accept. Let's do this.
I just don't like the handicap tag team wrestling gimmick matches for main events, and especially not KSI. Doing 2 fights in one night is one thing. And even then, that one was a little risky to be fighting 2 different people in one night, you know, going George Foreman in the 70s. But, you know, KSI was a lot better than those 2. And they were their own fights, you know what I'm saying? Like, KSI had a one-on-one with those guys. And this, while, yes, it kind of gives you the answer that the community was asking for, like, fight Slim. And Anthony Taylor, I think he knows. I love the guy. He's an awesome dude. I just don't think this makes a lot of sense for him to be involved in this. Like, that's the only question I have. But in these handicap tag team things, and the tag team in general, you don't really get a sense for what a boxing match is going to look like with these 2. Like, yes, there is clearly the advantage of having 2 people fighting 1 person, but it's in a tag team format. It's not like both of them are in the ring at once. And yes, they can tag out, save their energy, come back. So that's going to be an issue for KSI, I guess. I don't know, man. It feels too gimmicky. Like, I honestly, I'm going to be honest, I do not want to see Anthony Taylor fight KSI. And that's not because I don't like Anthony Taylor. I do. And it's not because I don't think it's a challenge to KSI. But one, I feel like KSI either has to have a massive name attached to him in one of these fights, or something that does relate to influencer boxing and giving back or maybe helping grow the promotion. No offense to Anthony Taylor, I don't think him beating KSI really grows Misfits. Potentially a Slim fight, and let's say Slim was to find some way to beat KSI, could definitely show you what would happen if you had a homegrown star in Misfits. And not only that, but the stylistic matchup between Anthony Taylor and KSI is not going to be a pretty one, at least from what we've seen in their past fights. They do have a similar kind of style, which is like a blitzing forward, throw some punches into the clinch style. That doesn't make for necessarily the greatest matchup. And again, you're not even getting a KSI versus Anthony Taylor full fight where you go into the fight having studied and game planned for one individual, and you have to work out the intricacies of adjusting in that fight to that specific individual. And again, I know KSI is going to have to do a lot more adjusting because they have 2 completely different fight styles. So that is a massive challenge for JJ, but I don't know about Anthony Taylor's involvement. I personally, and I think you guys know this, would have loved to have seen KSI versus Slim. Not because Anthony Taylor doesn't deserve a big fight or anything like that. I think this would have made more sense. And genuinely, I'm interested in that fight. I think the stylistic matchup of the 2 makes a little more sense. KSI with a better tank than Slim is shown to have. Slim with a bit better orthodox boxing than KSI presents, but KSI being very explosive and powerful to a level that Slim has never seen yet. This is why I thought the fight would be a good matchup. And again, we're kind of getting that with Slim and Anthony Taylor in the tag team. And I think I've been through enough the whole issues that I have with how you even score something like this. And apparently they're going to have a whole new commission or a whole new scoring system for the 2v1. We actually haven't ever seen it because the last one they tried to do, one of the guys got scared before the event started. But again, I'm not trying to shit on this. I like that Slim is getting his opportunity. Again, Anthony Taylor, you know, he's put himself in a position to make some noise, and he's got an opportunity. That's great for both those guys. I'm not here to downplay the opportunity of it. I just would have rather seen a proper one-on-one match where JJ does have the opportunity to come back in, get a win in impressive fashion versus one of the 2, whoever it was going to be, and use that to catapult him and give him that fight experience into what I assume was supposed to be the Amir Khan fight. I don't know what the 2v1 really prepares him for, other than, again, having to make multiple adjustments. That's kind of a cool thing, I guess, but it's just going to be an odd fight. I don't know what else to say, really. It's going to be an odd fight for sure. So Slim tweeted out the poster. Anthony Taylor has tweeted out his own separate poster. Both of them are acting like the other one is not in the fight, which is already weird. I wish it was. Honestly, if you wanted to do the 2 fights in one night gimmick, that would still be a massive problem because this isn't Swarms and Pineda. Leo says, if you start, please don't tag in Anthony and just box like it's you and KSI. I don't disagree with it. If Slim start, and again, I don't know the rules of this shit. I assume that AT has to get in at some point. Can you imagine there's like a brawl on the ring apron for who starts first because both guys know that the other one's not going to tag him in? I hate being the guy that comes on here on YouTube and takes a fat shit on things and makes it seem like I just hate Misfits. It's not that. It really isn't. Like, I always tried to put my best foot forward and tell you guys the truth of what I'm thinking without trying to sound like I just hate things. That's not the case. I like that KSI is fighting. I like that KSI is fighting somebody before Amir Khan. I like that KSI is fighting Slim. I'm glad that Anthony Taylor gets a main event opportunity. I wish it wasn't like this. I don't know how else to say it other than that. I wish it wasn't this. I wish it wasn't 2v1. I wish it wasn't Anthony Taylor and KSI in a ring together. I just don't like it as a matchup, as a fight, as a event. But again, these are just all my opinions on the matter. I think 75% of this was a big check mark for Misfits, right? Getting KSI back. Main event in Dublin. That's cool. Slim in the main event with KSI. That's great. It's just the 2v1. That's really the question I have, and I think where we're going to leave off with this. I'm excited that KSI's back. I'm cautious as to any time we have a tag team or a handicap 2v1 situation, how this is going to work. And I am just going to say, again, why did we have to do it this way? And maybe we'll just sit back and see what happens. You guys let me know down in the comments. Do you like the 2v1? Do you like the two men involved in the 2v1? Do you think it's going to in any way affect how this fight goes? Think it's the right move for KSI and Misfits? Is it going to affect how you prepare differently, and how many rounds are we talking? All that stuff, you guys let me know down below. And what do you think about this Amir Khan thing in December, Jake in what I guess now is confirmed to be February? All those questions I don't have answers for, but this is breaking news. We had to cover it. KSI is back August 31st in a 2v1 handicap match. What happens then? I don't have those answers, so I guess we'll find out.